Hi Jake, how are you doing?
Good, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you. Just off the bat, I'm going to ask you, this session's being recorded. Is that alright with you?
Yeah.
Alright, great. And also, do you mind if I take notes during the session?
I don't mind in the slightest.
Alright, perfect. So last time you came to talk to me, I know it's been a while, but we talked about your struggles with finding a job and your concerns about transitioning into college. How are you doing with those things?
Better than I was before, but still got some nervous things about both those.
Both those issues? Okay, so what specifically would you like to talk about today?
I mean, first I'd like to talk about like the job search and everything like that, and then I'd like to follow into like maybe talk about my career path, and not career path, but like more of a major classification that when I go to MSU.
Okay, so first you would like to talk about, you'd like to talk about your job, correct?
Yeah,
That's what you
please.
talked about first. Alright, so what have you been doing to find a job?
You know, I just kind of been like looking around, hoping that people mention stuff.
Okay.
It's been a little stressful, but I don't know. I've just kind of been like going to places that I like to go and seeing if they're hiring, things like that.
And how have you been doing there? Have you had much success?
I've had like little things that might lead to stuff, but not that much. A lot of the places I like to go, I think a lot of other people do too. So I think that they're not really hiring right now.
Okay. I hear that you've been going to a lot of places that you like and you frequent, but they might not be hiring because other people also think of those places as places to work. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. And how is that making you feel about it?
I mean, it's a little discouraging, but you know, just gotta keep on keeping on.
Okay. I see that you feel very discouraged about that. Alright. And you've had past job experience, correct? We talked about that a little bit in the last session.
Yeah, I mean, like before I went to school and everything, I was in the Army. So that I think is a big helpful factor on not really getting discouraged that much and being able to like understand that I need to just do it and find a better job.
So what strengths do you find that you had in your last job?
I mean, one of the biggest strengths that I learned from my last job was adaptability and being able to like know the situation and know what's going on and knowing what to do to be able to make that a better situation and a better outcome for yourself. So for me, it's like I know that I need a job and I'm going to adapt and do what I need to do to find a job.
Perfect.
Even if that means that it's not my top choice of a job.
Not your top choice. So what's important to you in a job? You're saying that you would accept something even when it's not your top choice. What are some of the things that you value the most in a position?
I mean, I definitely value respect, and I want to have a job where I feel respected and not just like a person that works for somebody. Like I don't want to just be like a sheep or something like that. I want to actually have a job where I matter. Also, not having crazy hours. I don't want to be working midnight till 3 in the morning. That type of stuff going like that.
Right. I understand that not having hours that are all over the place is very important to you, and having somewhere that you're treated with a level of respect is very important also. Can you tell me about a certain experience in your last job that you've found success in?
I mean, I got promoted a couple of times in my last job. Just doing the right stuff, doing a little more than you need to normally do, and stuff like that really sticks out, and it gets you noticed, and that gets you better opportunities and leads to promotions, which has perks in itself, more responsibility, better pay, things along that lines.
Okay. Can you tell me more about the skills that you did to get that promotion and the skills that you exhibited?
I mean, it's like I said before, like adaptability is a big one. You need to be able to adapt. You might not always work with the same people, so you need to be able to work with multiple different types of people and people that you normally wouldn't associate with. Be able to tolerate them, not have it get you too worked up, and just going a little bit above and beyond what's expected of you.
All right, and I think that you're working with a diverse set of people will really be helpful in any job that you have.
I'd agree.
Is that correct?
I'd agree with that.
Okay, perfect. Is there anything else you would like to discuss about your job? Any other concerns or how it's been making you feel in this search?
I mean, I definitely feel a little stressed, but I think that's just normal.
Okay. I hear that you're having the normal amount of stress. It's not overwhelming right now, but
Exactly,
that
yeah.
it's something you're working through.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So how about your experience with coming to MSU?
I mean, that's definitely a big stressor for me.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I know that I'm not going to be here until 2017, fall semester 2017. I'll be at LCC until then, but it's always stressful finding the right classes at LCC that'll transfer to any major that I end up choosing when I come to Michigan State, because I don't want to just waste my time at LCC taking classes that aren't necessarily going to help me out in any way when I come to Michigan State.
Mm-hmm. I hear that you're kind of struggling and kind of getting stressed out about finding the right classes
Yeah.
that will transfer here and maybe not wasting any credits there.
Exactly. Credits and time.
It's important to you. So what is important to you in a major?
I mean, I want a major that's going to lead to jobs. I don't want like a arts and humanities major or like a art science major. Like I want a major that will actually set me up for success in the long run of career search and things like that.
And what is success to you in a career?
I mean, when it comes to career, I want a job that has a good amount of promotions, promotes within, especially if that's the kind of corporation that I work for.
Okay.
I want it to be well paying. I don't want to have to worry about money, and I want it to have good job security.
And how do your values and how you're raised influence your decision and influence what you're looking for in a major?
Well, sometimes I think that I'd like to go to the medical field, but I mean, I don't have any family in the medical field, and they're all in like the business field, business and sales specifically. So I guess like seeing my family and how they work really helps, because I know that I'd be good at what they do. So that kind of makes me lean towards that type of field of study, because it's like I already know that I would be good at it. So it'd be nice to do something that you know you'll be good at, even if it's not like the most interesting thing that you could do.
And have you explored other options other than these two?
Besides those two, no, not really. I don't really have a passion for anything besides either health or business.
Okay.
So I've thought about merging the two, doing like business and medical sales, things like that.
I want to go back a little bit about specifically scheduling. And have you talked to anyone about scheduling classes, or how have you been handling that?
I've tried to reach out to certain academic advisors at MSU, and still haven't found one that answers the questions that need to be answered yet. However, at LCC, I have talked to an academic advisors, and I have meetings with them later on in the week this week to go over certain classes and scheduling issues that make sure that they know what I want to do, and make sure that they know that I'm not going to sign up for classes that aren't going to matter.
And how have they been doing with that? Have they been helpful in that search?
LCC academic advisors have definitely been more helpful than the MSU ones at this point.
What do you think you can do further to make scheduling easier?
You know, like you can always look up on your own time,
Yeah.
like what the requirements are going to be for certain degrees, things like that. So that's a big help. But also just talking to students who have done the same courses that I wanted to do, and finding a better academic advisor from MSU to help me out.
Yeah, understand that finding a good advisor and talking to students who have been in this position will be really helpful for you. I think those are good next steps to take in this. And you mentioned a couple times about being stressed out. How has that been? Has it been overwhelming, or how are you handling it?
It's not been overwhelming for
Okay.
anything, but I mean it's just always in the back of your mind. It's like you're not completely at ease until you resolve the whole situation. So kind of just like waiting to have the situation resolved, but not being able to do things on my own definitely makes it harder and more stressful, because like I'm banking on other people to help me with certain things. So I can't just go out and do it on my own. I'm like have to wait on somebody else's time.
Yeah, that would be stressful to rely on other people instead of doing it yourself. There's a couple things that we like to talk about in counseling that kind of helps you through stress and about managing. And I just want to talk about 3 of those things really briefly, if that's all right.
I much appreciate it.
All right, the first thing that's really important is exercise relating to counseling and stress. How have you been with exercise? Is that a part of your life now?
It definitely is a part of my life. I mean, I'm not going to say that I'm exercising every day 4 times a day, but I like to work out roughly 3 to 4 times a week.
Okay. And also closely tied with that is nutrition. So how the way you're eating does affect your mood, it affects your stress. Do you think changing your diet or adding things to your diet would be helpful for you?
I think that might have a big impact. I mean, I like hot dogs a lot.
Okay. Not the most nutritious food,
Yeah,
but
I like hot dogs and cheeseburgers.
maybe in moderation. Right?
Sometimes even chili.
Oh my gosh. Okay. And the last thing that's super important is sleep. So it's important to get a good night of sleep, adequate amount of sleep every night.
Yeah, I've been trying to do that.
Okay. Good. Is that something you can work on? Helpful?
I think I can. I think that I can.
All right, perfect. So in this session, we talked about finding a job and what you've been doing with that, and we've also been talking about you finding a major and what you can do further in order to find that major and to take classes at LCC that will transfer to state. And we just talked about some of those lifestyle changes that you can make in order to reduce your stress. Is there anything else that you need to talk about?
I mean, I understand that you're a student at MSU.
Uh-huh.
Is there anything that any advice that you can give on finding counselors, like a building or something I can go to?
Absolutely. Student services and administration. I think it's going to be very helpful. I can give you some printouts after the session if you would like on that,
That'd be really
and some
helpful.
direction into finding an advisor.
That'd be really helpful for me.
All right, great. It was nice to talk to you today, Jake.
Thank you for listening.
You're welcome. Good luck in your job and your college searches.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Have a good one.